So, in the book Misuse Book of Stories, as I said before, there's two stories, one book. So we have Envy and we have My Brother's Keeper. They're both two short stories. So both of these stories, I really love these stories. Um, I actually created these stories years ago, but it wasn't. I never felt like it was like a novel size, so that's why they were never published. So then I came up with this idea that, hey, I want to do like a book with two short stories in it, just for sometimes we just want to hear a little short story. I remember I read a short story, um, and it was over the duration of like a couple of the timeline of the story was like over duration of days. And so that story was one of the most interesting stories. It was a quick story, but it was like really interesting, so I really enjoyed it. So I was like, even though some people are kind of like they frown upon small stories, um I want to be able to do novels, novellas, all that. uh for I want to be able to reach any type of urban fiction reader. One day I want to venture over into maybe writing like erotic, or get a little sci-fi in there, just challenge my imagination a little more. But right now, urban fiction is my primary writing style, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Um, I do want. I feel like my stories should be series or movies. Like, hey, 50 Cent, reach out to me, because hey, I know one of these stories can be on stars. Like, help me get there. But the story Envy, uh despite the fact that the book is not it's published, but it's not officially on the market yet, I just want to kind of just discuss like the book. So Envy is basically about a woman who a young woman who she's been influenced to do wrong things, but in her heart she wants right things. But it's just the way that she's going about it. It just kind of messes her up, and she causes a lot of confusion and problems, So, her she was that story was definitely inspired by true events. Not in the story like treatments, but just, a person, that inspired me to write that. But like I said, the character in the book, Nicole, she's young, she's like she wants all these things, but she's, been taught otherwise. And, despite the fact that what her heart wants, actually, let me rephrase that. Her heart wants it so bad that she's willing to do anything to get it. Like, she starts off, bad, but then she has a little taste of good, but she loses it and becomes upset, and then she goes back into bad. Then the shit just basically backfires on her. So, Envy is definitely a good story to read. I made it the second one in the book. My Brother's Keeper. My Brother's Keeper is just basically like loyal. It's about loyalty, as most of my stories are. Um, but with My Brother's Keeper, I want it. I wanted to keep it strictly family, just one family thing, like strictly family. So all the characters are family, and uh, it some of the things that are in there involves lies, envy, um, wrath, um, just people being judgmental about another person's lifestyle and kind of using that to drive themselves to, be angry with them, if that makes sense. So that's a really good story. It's shorter than Envy, but it's also a really good story, and it has an interesting twist at the end, and it's definitely going to have you like, whoa, because, you know, some messed up stuff happens. So I mean, I can't wait for this book to hit the market so people can start buying it. Like I said, writing is like my passion. Like my passion. Yes, everybody wants to be famous. I want to be famous. I would love to watch my one of my stories on the TV screen and everything. But right now, I just solely really do it because I get a high off of writing stories and people being interested in my stories. That's my high. It's like, smoking some weed or something. So like when people give me feedback about my stories and they show me that they're interested in it, that takes me all the way to 1,000. And that's I mean, I know some people are like, well, how much money do you make doing it? It's not a big money thing. You have to really have a big platform like Juan, Ashley, and Jaquavis, Mary B. Morrison, Mary Monroe, Walter Mosley, VC Andrews. You got to have a big platform. I'm sure they started off small, but now they have big platforms, and like I'm small, but those are the authors that inspire me. And I don't know what their original goal was when they started writing, but I know I can only speak for myself, and writing is a passion for me. That's why I have my logo is passion to write. Passion to write. Passion number two, write. So my website is passion2write.com. Look me up. I'm on Instagram. Also, I have a Passion to Write Facebook page. So, add me or do what you got to do. Like I said, I'm just starting out, but, I have a lot of stories in this head. I have a lot of stories up here on this shelf that need to be put out and made to this. Like I got a lot of beginnings. So, it's a slow process. Um, I use my own hard working money, my paychecks, like I make it work, and I pay for what I want. It's kind of like people who have a thing about cars. They like their rims. They like to get their cars painted and redone for car shows. So that's their hobby. That's their thing. They invest in that because that's what they want to do. It doesn't, they'll win some shows and everything or be able to sell it, eventually or but it's really for the attention, you get from your audience that to wow your audience. And that's what I like. That's my book writing is what is just like that. I want to wow my readers. I want people to see like it's a lot going on in this head. Let me get it out on paper. So God bless me with this talent, and I plan to finally just use it to my potential. Stay tuned. I have a lot of projects coming up that I want to do. I sometimes I'll be sitting here and it'd be a whole story in my head. Like I need to get that out on paper. Shout out to the new authors. It is a uphill climb, but keep on striving. Don't never get discouraged. Every little step counts. Don't get discouraged by not selling a lot of books. You have to start somewhere. It's hard to like get into this field, get into writing, and just everybody just gravitates. Even celebrities that write books. I mean, it's not like you think it is. It's not like you just gonna be a millionaire off of one book. It's we're all in this. We're trying to get our stories out. So just I encourage all new authors to stay in the race. It's perfectly fine. If that's your passion, do it. Do it. And if you're solely looking for income out of it, that'll be great when you get it. But there's also other avenues for income. Like I don't make this my only avenue. I work a 9 to 5. I do this. I have other things other projects that I want to do that get me money. So, you know, don't get discouraged by this one thing. And if your passion is to write, then write.